why is the Steam Deck still the best device to get in 2025? Today, I wanted to make a video about why I think the device is still the best to get if you want a PC handheld, or to be honest, any handheld at all. I would actually advise to get this if you want to play third-party games more than getting the Switch 2. And that is just for now, because I don't know what future holds right now for the Switch 2 in terms of like the support, but in my opinion, I think it's best to go with the Steam Deck, even though if you are on the PC world right now, the Steam Deck definitely feels like it's getting ancient, right? Like it's old hardware right now and all of that. But in reality, I don't really see it that way. Because there is only so far that hardware itself can carry you. And you see it with these Windows handhelds that even though they exist for so long, people are still gonna tell you, yeah, just get a Steam Deck because it doesn't make sense to go through all those hoops and just have some performance gains and not have the good experience that you can get from the Steam Deck. And there have been other workarounds for Windows handhelds like Bazzite, and that is pretty much what I would recommend to anyone. But in my experience, when it comes to just plug and play without having to remove the operating systems and all of that, it is definitely the best handheld to get. And that is one of the beauties of the Steam Deck, in my opinion. That you have these two different things, but they mix well so well. Like it feels like almost weird that it works like this, but it does. So from one point, you have the simplicity of, oh yeah, you have like, the verified games. You have the games that like you don't really need to configure that much. They just should just work. And you have the other side of that you are able to just configure whatever settings you want. Do you feel like you don't like lens flare? Remove it. Do you feel like you don't like motion blur even at 30 FPS? Remove it. And stuff like this is why I think this is the best PC handheld to get, and to be honest, the best handheld to get in general. Because it is both of the things. It is both a console and it is both a handheld PC. Handheld PCs, usually you will have to configure or set a preset that you will feel is the one you want. But here, many games, when they are verified, they even have a specific Steam Deck preset, which is very, very good for the device because you can just use that preset and you are kind of like rest assured that, well, the game gonna work on a certain kind of experience. But if you're someone that can tinker with settings like Santiago on YouTube, you can change completely how the game looks. Like I'm still so impressed that he was able to get The Last of Us 2 run so well on the Steam Deck without like the Steam Deck preset. He just made so many changes and he pushed the thing to the limit to run at 30 FPS, but it looks incredible. And that is something that satisfies both the people that are looking for the best optimized settings for their experience and people that are also looking to have, for example, the highest FPS, whatever it takes, even if it's like really low graphics and stuff like this. Or you have the people that just don't want to mess up with anything, and you can have the whatever the developers thought that is the best settings for the Steam Deck, and they use it by default. So that is for me is why this console plus experience is the best when it comes to configuring the games and also giving an experience to everyone that wants to experience specifically the games the way that they want without losing time and all of that. So yeah, I will definitely think that this is one of the best things that comes with the Steam Deck. Now moving on, I also have to talk about how incredible the controls are, full-size controls without compromises. You have the incredible trackpads that when you go to anything that has to do with mouse and keyboard, these things are godsend, because sometimes, especially at the start when you configure things, or if you're using a lot, like me, the device, like it's a multimedia center, like for me to watch Netflix, YouTube, and stuff like this, or whatever else. I do that a lot, even Crunchyroll. I do that a lot, and it looks incredible on the Steam Deck OLED screen, which is like 1000 nits HDR. And I love watching stuff on that thing. And especially like sometimes in bed, I just put it on the stand with the kickstand that it has on the case that I have, the kill switch case, and it just works. I don't have to think, it just works, it looks beautiful, and it has pretty much made my iPad useless. I haven't used the iPad for like um, 2 years now. And it's crazy because it just works so well with everything. So for me, I think that anyone that wants this kind of plug and play experience definitely going to get benefited by something like this, but also the people that want to configure and go into deep into making the games better definitely will get benefit. Like me running The Last of Us 2. In a way, this is kind of an effort that I didn't really have to do too much to get there, because I got the settings from, as I said before, the channel Santiago, incredible content. And then, not only I got that from him, but I also put the leaked FSR4 files, and I was able to unlock FSR4 for this thing, and it made the game look even better. And that is something that I want to talk about, because things from the community that are made make this console or handheld PC, whatever you want to call it, so much better. Because you have the full customizability with themes like from the Decky loader that you can get, frame generation, FSR4, with really minimum effort, because all they have to do is make you download something and then you use that with pressing a toggle on and off or copy like a command, and it just works, because they try to make this device, even the community, as plug and play as possible. And you can have these kind of experiences so easily. I feel like it's one of the coolest things that you can just, without going into too much trouble with modding, that you can just have a stable experience with the newest technologies, and people are just putting the effort to put it and make it possible not only to run on Linux, but also to run as seamless as possible on the Steam Deck. And that is just something that comes with the community support. When it comes to people helping you out on a Discord, to people who are making accessories for this device, and then to also having channels dedicated to the device in order to give you like a good idea of what you're spending your money on. There are so many things that this community is incredible, and they help you so much. If you really need some help, they will help you understand things, and everything is pretty much working out great. So for me, I think that having also that community is pretty cool. Although I don't really interact too much with it outside of YouTube, I just think that it's really cool that it's there. If I ever need something, I just tune on something like Gaming DJ. He makes incredible videos about FSR4, and he even educates people in the comments if they have questions. And he will tell you like exactly why he did that, why he's using that, and all of that, like live on happening, and the community is actively trying to help each other get their best. Now, from that guy, I got to work the Resident Evil 4, that I got it to work very well. And I was really surprised how well it looked. Like for me, I didn't really expect that it was gonna look so well with FSR4, because I had to do some double things using RE engine framework, that is something on top of it. Like I was using XCSS there, and then I replaced the XCSS with FSR4. But look how clean this is. This runs around 30 to 40 FPS, but it looks so clean, and I'm using like the FSR4 quality. It looks incredible. It looks like I have the high graphics on, but I just have the performance thing on. If you look how the game looks originally without the FSR4, because it's still using FSR 2.1, it looks disgusting in motion. Like you see the hair and you feel like the hair looks incredibly ugly and everything is pixelated. And I couldn't take that anymore. So I watched the video and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use FSR4. And I started doing that thing. And I felt like I realized something. Usually in games, usually in consoles, you feel like, oh yeah, this thing is getting older, so instead of feeling like something is improving that is happening on the Steam Deck, things are getting worse. Like the device shows its age, that it's just getting worse and keeps getting worse. But here, with these technologies, these leaks, frame generation, and all of that, instead of feeling that the device is about to, cut it off, give me the new thing, you feel, wait a minute, this thing just keeps getting better, more life into this. I don't have to buy anything else. I can just enjoy this. And that is why I feel that it's still one of the best devices, and in my opinion, the best to buy if you want a handheld. Because not only you get new games to get supported here, like they're trying to have at least the Steam Deck as a base to be like, okay, at least it plays on Steam Deck, because it's pretty much free marketing for whatever game it is, but it also is something really cool that you can just still use the device that is quite old in terms of PC standards, but have this kind of longevity like it's a console. So like you kind of like Valve created this thing and they get to have their cake but eat it too. So it's kind of weird, but it works for them. And it definitely works for me. So I don't really think about like I have to buy a new device. Usually, when it's the end of a console, you feel like, okay, buddy, time to put you down, time to look for the new console, the new iteration. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I want it. Just like, what happened with the Switch 1 and Switch 2 situation. Just give me the new thing. I don't like this anymore. So, yeah. And in general, I feel like the Steam gonna be way better because whatever you do on the Steam, all your library is going to get automatically upgraded when you're getting the new console. And that is something that doesn't happen to consoles. And sometimes it doesn't really happen to other PC handhelds because you chose the wrong thing. And what I mean by that is, if you bought something from the Xbox store and the new device that you're getting has Linux, or like, for example, you want to have Linux, you cannot access those games anymore. But no matter what you do, if you own the games on Steam, well, the Steam will always be available. And that is the most important thing to keep away from this, that you can just use Steam everywhere, and buying games on Steam is always the best choice, for at least on PC. So yeah, that is why I think that this device is kind of unbeatable, because it does so many things, so much more than just the hardware itself, so much more than just performance. It is all these little conveniences and reassurances and things that help both the people that want to be turbo nerds like me, or for the people that want to be like, I just want to press it to play and it plays. Yeah, that is my opinion. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, or how you view this device or other devices like this. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. See you next time.